yeah, you could probably do. You might get back and be a little tired, but after that beach is when it gets really rugged. It's very, very windy today. This is the windiest spot on the trip. So a little trick is to fly offshore here, and that will allow us to get away from the rough air over on the right there. When I get to the end here with the 2 fingers, I'll do a left turn where it's smooth air and you can look back and see the coast from the green side. So bear with me a little here for your comfort. I'll go a little offshore here. This will allow us the smoothest, nicest flight. If you look down below us, John, Michelle, you can see there's a little tiny waterfall to the right of the one that's blowing in the wind down there on the shore. You can go in a kayak under the cave, the waterfall on the right, into the cave. That's a horseshoe-shaped cave, and you come out on the left between the waterfalls. You come out in a different spot. Well, this big indentation also has one of those. That's called the Honolulu Sea Cave. So this is a neat area to go kayaking in the summertime. Now, the waves are very calm here in the summer. But you come back in the winter, they can be 20 to 60 foot wave faces out here. It's ferocious big surf in the winter. Have any of you ever heard of a surf competition called the Eddie Aikau? The Eddie Aikau only goes if the waves are 30 feet or taller from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So the last time it was held was in 2009 until just recently, 2015, it finally went again. They will call, the Eddie is going. You might see bumpers that say Eddie would go, as implying the waves are 30 foot or bigger. So they call that it's going to go. They have 24 hours. They call the surfers from all over the world. They fly in. 20,000 people will come to the north shore of Oahu to watch the surfing competition. They put a yellow flag out. It's going. The next morning, just when they just held it here, the waves were not 40 feet, were not 30 feet tall. They canceled it. Some of the surfers had to leave. Well, then a week later, they called it because the surfers couldn't come back. They opened it up to local guys here, and one of the local guys was 23 years old, won it, and when the waves came in, they were 40 to 60 foot faces. He won $75,000. So the Eddie went in 2015 finally again. 259 left 360K. Let's make that turn so you can look back and see the shore here. $75,000 for a surfer competition is pretty big. Nice payday. Look at that. Now you can see, Joanne, the waterfall all the way back there. That would take you roughly 6 hours to climb in and out, but I'll spare you the sweat and tears. I'll fly you right around here, take a look at it. If you look down below you, Isabel, you can see a black or dark brown spot in the water there. Look how big it is, and see the people on the beach? That's a school of fish called akule, right down here. You might see on the side of the roads people parked there with a sign that says fresh akule. That's what they're selling, that fish, which you may have heard of before as mackerel. Now you should be able to see them down below you, Rick. There's a wet cave here, a dry cave. In between them in the valley is the Limahuli Botanical Garden. Out in front where the dry cave is, there's that beach that's kind of cutting out to the left. It's called Haena Beach Park, and Haena Beach Park is where Mitzi Gaynor ran along the beach when she's going to watch that man right out of her hair. Right now is right here. A little more contemporary fame was brought to this beach area here. If you can see down, there's guys kite surfing here. Just to the right of them, outside of the reef, is an area known as Tunnels Surf Spot. This is where Bethany Hamilton lost her arm to the tiger shark. Perhaps some of you remember her story. She was 13 years old. She was paddling out to go surfing. She bumps into a tiger shark. He took her left arm from the shoulder down. She went on to become the women's surfing champion, and it's her attitude that made her famous. She's like, whatever. Life goes on. This is the spot here where she lost her arm if you were taking that, Hannah. What you took was the beach park area, and then the surf spot is right to the right. I don't know if that's what you were taking, but there you go. It's on the right side of your photo there. If you look down on the right, you can see the homes along the shoreline here is called the Haena. We call it Little Hollywood. Pierce Brosnan, Bette Midler, Sylvester Stallone, a lot of movie stars have homes right here. I'm going to bank over to the right. They've asked us not to fly over the homes, so look down. You see the black lines in the coral outside the waves towards us? Those are lava tubes. That's why they call it tunnels. you get a chance yet, Rick, to drive up to the north side here on this trip?
Some of them did. We're actually staying in Princeville, so...
Okay, that's right in front of us then. So you did then, yeah. You can see the Queen's Bath would be the point just in front of us. That's a little bit farthest out to the left.
Yes,
Then you have Hideaways Beach right in front of us. You can climb down there by the rope ladders and the metal stairs. They're kind of rickety, but people like to do that. It takes about 10 minutes. And did you go to the St. Regis Princeville Resort?
that's on the agenda probably tomorrow.
Okay, I don't know where exactly you're staying. You may be able to even walk down there. But when you go there, they have free valet parking.
Right, we're actually at the Westin Princeville Villas, so they have a shuttle that runs up to the St. Regis.
Okay, when you go there, ask the valet where the staircase is down to that beach there. It's on the far side of the hotel as we're looking at it now, and it walks down. It's a lot easier to walk down than up. When you get to the bottom of the beach, then go into the hotel on the left side of the pool area. There's a elevator. Go up to the 9th floor, get out, and then walk down the hallway, and there's another elevator. I'll take that up to the lobby. Inside the hotel, they have an infinity pool in the lobby and windows that go all around the bay. That's a real nice area to just go look around. It's a little pricey, about $65 a person, but if you want to have a real nice meal, they boast the number 7th in the world brunch buffet at the St. Regis there on Sunday. Kind of a fancy something you may or may not like to do. Andrei Melnichenko, a Russian billionaire, brought his $300 million yacht, he calls Yacht A, parked here and went to brunch there. Kind of entertaining.
Now you shattered my plan for tomorrow.
I'm guessing maybe you've been down to Honolulu, but if you have not yet, the pier there is accessible in the town down below. You go down the hill and then turn towards the water, make a right. The first half a block in is another street. Will take you around to the pier. This is also where Mitzi Gaynor was at the pier there in South Pacific and all that, so it's kind of famous for that.
I went down there with the kids yesterday, and Joanne and I have been there a number of times. It's a great place.
It's very beautiful and very nice. You can see on the right there's Wainiha Valley. In front of us is Lumahai, and over on the left is Honolulu Valley. I'm going to take you on the left one in Honolulu because that's where they filmed Jurassic Park. So we're going to go over here. As we go by, you'll be able to see when you were down there, maybe, Rick, looking around. There's a waterfall up in the mountains here you may have saw. This is the second tallest waterfall in the entire state of Hawaii called Namolokama Falls. About 2,500 feet tall, coming down the face of a 4,000 foot tall mountain. Way out in the distance, the green grass there is where they filmed Jurassic Park. It's called Kahili Ranch. That's where the Brachiosaurus were eating the trees when they first arrived at the park. They're like, oh my gosh, look at this, it's eating the trees. Also in the new one, Jurassic World, that's where they had the glass ball, the gyrospheres. They were riding around with the dinosaurs was there. You can see the falls here. Then you have the Princeville Ranch here. Is a nice place to go zip lining and horseback riding. That's where they filmed the TV show The Bachelor. They brought all their dates down here and they're trying to zip line their way to love. It's a cool place to go horseback riding and zip lining.
Have you seen these islands? Have you seen
So later when you're down at your hotel, you can look up at the clouds here and say, hey, we were right up there a little bit earlier. It's kind of a fun. This waterfall actually makes 26 pools coming down the face of the mountain. So I always tell people, if you want, I could drop you off at the 2,000 foot level pool. I'll be back in like an hour. I can pick you up.
Have you seen the ocean? Miles and miles of crystal deep blue seas.
I like how it comes out of the clouds up there, not ethereal. Just recently here, Rick, a Thai Chinese businessman just purchased from the shoreline there all the way up to the back of the valley here for $343 million. Small pocket change apparently for him. Also, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook just bought purchased a place over here by Kilauea. He bought a $120 million piece of property.
This land
Nicolas Cage.
I'm sorry, I was making a radio call. Say it again.
Does Nicolas Cage have any place on the island?
I heard he does. I actually don't know, and I know Chuck Norris just bought something here, if that excites. Go Chuck. I did hear Nicolas Cage's. I don't know the details of his property ownership. Maybe Shay does. Let me ask him.
Each island blossoms everywhere. Have you felt its spirit? Ancient gods, their monarch still lives here.
He must be in the crater. He's not responding. This is where they filmed Jurassic World right here.
Nothing in